I'd like to begin by just stressing that I'm not being held hostage, and I appreciate that's exactly what someone who's been held in captivity would say. But I promise you, I'm not being held hostage. I've just changed location, but that's the only thing that's changing in today's video. The format is remaining exactly the same. You're going to get dodgy opinions. You're going to get crap predictions from myself. You're going to get some random statistics for every single match. Plus, we're starting the show, as we always do, by saying a big well done to the winners last weekend. We had two winners in the Tartan Geo prediction competition who both win a shout out from a random Scotsman who chats nonsense on YouTube. So well done to Westwood Hammer, who's won again. It's not the first time he is victorious on Tartan Geo. He correctly predicted Chelsea to beat Burnley 2-0. He had Palace beating Wolves 2-0. He had Brighton beating Brentford 2-1. He had Aston Villa beating Leeds United 2-1. He had Arsenal beating Spurs 14 points for Westwood Hammer. But also, a congratulations to Drifter, who has won for the first time on the channel. He also had Chelsea down for a win. He had West Ham Bournemouth drawn. He correctly predicted 2-1 Brighton. He correctly predicted 1-0 Fulham. He correctly predicted 2-0 Crystal Palace. He also had Villa and Arsenal down for wins as well. And what I quite liked about it was Westwood Hammer and Drifter both left a nice little comment in regards to Scotland qualifying for the World Cup as well. So karma goes round. You were kind, fortune favoured you, and you were the winners of the Tartan Geo prediction competition last weekend. So congratulations. And let's get straight into it this weekend. We've got 5 games on Saturday and 5 games on Sunday. And it kicks off at 3 p.m. on Saturday. No early game tomorrow, which is frustrating, but there is 2 late ones. Brentford host Burnley. Brentford are 1-4, drawn 1 and lost 1 at home. So they are good at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Just 5 points ahead of the relegation zone now. Brentford sort of got off to a really good start this season. A couple of iffy results though, and suddenly they're looking over their shoulders and they're taking on Burnley, who are one of those trying to catch them. But Burnley lost 5 games away from Turf Moor this season, winning just 1, which was against Wolves. I'll be honest, it's hard to see Burnley picking up anything in this fixture, but they're going to have to. Burnley want to stay up. This is a must-not-lose game for them. Eventually pressure will come on that they're maybe going to have to start picking up wins against the likes of Brentford, but their whole argument for staying up, or Burnley fans' argument for staying up, was they're winning the fixtures they needed to. Then they got beat by West Ham. So you've got to get back on course of that. And I think winning away to Brentford is a difficult ask, but if they can get a draw, I think that would be good. Only Manchester City have won there this season. And that, I recall correctly, that was a difficult game for City. Brentford were the better team for large parts of that game as well. I think Brentford have got enough. Thiago, second top goal scorer in the Premier League now. Shada. I think they've got enough. I'm going to say Brentford 2, Burnley 1. Manchester City hosting Leeds United. It's been a bad week for Man City, getting beat by Newcastle, then getting beat by Leverkusen during the week in the Champions League. A lot of complaints over how City played, and also the fact that Pep Guardiola made 10 changes. The bad thing for Leeds is Pep Guardiola made 10 changes. He's going to make another 10 ahead of this game as well. So they're almost going to face City's first team rather than that rotation. But at home though, won the last 5 at home by at least 2 goals as well. So even though City's form's been a little bit inconsistent and they're not hitting the standard you'd expect from a Pep Guardiola Man City team, they are doing good at the Etihad in the Premier League, of course. Leeds United, though, lost 5 of 6, and in general, and they've also lost 5 of 6 away from Elland Road as well. So they're not in great form, and they're not great away. It's difficult to see anything other than a Man City win here. Farke's been getting a little bit of pressure put on him. The questions are reflecting that, and he's saying, the performances have done all right, and he's been listing games that they've played all right in where I think they picked up 2 points, and it's a case of, well, if that's the games you're playing well in, you've only got 2 points to show for it. How are you going to get points away to the likes of Man City? I don't think they will. I'm going to say Manchester City 3, Leeds United 0. And it's at this point, I must say, if you don't mind, if you're new to Tartan Geo, please do subscribe. Also do drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up. It helps out the video, helps out the channel. Someone comes onto YouTube, puts in Premier League preview. This will be probably on the second page. Scroll quite a way down, then they might come across it. But your likes do help get it put in front of people that's looking for this type of content. And I'm a daily as well, because of moving. being held hostage and stuff like that. So your support is appreciated. Thank you very much. Sunderland host Bournemouth. Sunderland have now gone 3 games without a win, which feels like bad form for Sunderland and the standards that they've set so far this season. However, one of those games do include Arsenal, of course. But then at the Stadium of Light, they've won 3, drawn 3. So it's a good place for them. They've turned it into a little bit of a mini fortress so far this season, which is important. I think when you're a promoted team, you can make your home ground a difficult place to go and you can pick up the majority of points at home. I think when you are Arsenal and Man City, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be picking up maximum points home and away. But when you are, and your ambition is to just don't finish in the bottom 3, which is Sunderland's ambition here, picking up the majority of points at home, a large percentage of them, as long as you get enough points, so percentage mostly being at home is okay, as long as the tally is a good number, which is what Sunderland's got. I think that's fine. It's nothing that would worry me too much because you can be confident that you are competitive at home and you can beat teams on your home pitch. Sunderland, though, coming up against the Bournemouth side, who 1 win in 5 now, so it's not been great form for Bournemouth at the minute, but they've also only got 1 win in 5 aways so far this season, so they're not great travelling away from home, Bournemouth. I think this is a funny fixture. They're both going into it equal points in the Premier League, and I think they're going to have equal points at the full-time whistle as well. I'm going to go Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 1. I think that's a good result for Sunderland, and because of Bournemouth's ambitions this season, I think this would be seen as maybe a little bit of a disappointing result. Bournemouth need to get a win somewhere and soon. Otherwise, failing to win at Sunderland, 1 win in 6. That's not the form of a team that's going to get European football. Everton host Newcastle United. Everton have now got 7 points from the last 3 games after going through a little bit of an iffy patch under David Moyes. Winning 4, drawing 2 and losing just 1 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium so far this season. So they've turned that ground into their home very, very quickly. Newcastle, I mean, they were excellent against Manchester City. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. That game could have finished 5-3 Newcastle. Great game to watch. Big win for them. Felt like there was a lot of pressure on Eddie Howe going into that one. During the week, I watched their game against Marseille. I mean, Nick Pope, what are you doing? He's got to get dropped, hasn't he? I think that's the big call for Howe this week. Are you going to drop him? Because it's not just one error. It feels like he's making an error every single game at this rate. So he's out of form and he's costing Newcastle. The highlight for Newcastle this week was one of their fans. Yeah, you must have seen it on social media. One of their fans in the bogs at Marseille. I mean, that guy had an evening, didn't he? In the toilet with another Newcastle fan, scrapping the police after. Then there's footage of him in the square before the game, absolutely smashed. I mean, he had a lively trip away to France, didn't he? Newcastle will be hoping for a lively one away to Newcastle. As for the Geordies, though, they've won just 1 of their last 11 games in all competitions, losing 6 of them. It's not great. I had a little look to see how Moyes and Howe have got on. I like it when managers have had different clubs and they've been in the same league for a sustained period of time as well, because the data becomes more reliable. So they've come up against each other 11 times. Moyes has won 3 and Howe's won 3, and they've obviously drawn 5 between them. So a very even record, and I think that record's going to remain. I'm going to say Everton 1, Newcastle United 1. Usually boring-ass Spurs taking on boring-ass Fulham. But I watched Spurs' game during the week against PSG, and I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Finished 5-3, but I thought it was good. A bit of entertainment, not something I've associated with Thomas Frank's Tottenham this season. A bit of pressure on him, again, and rightly so. There should be pressure on them. They are not good form at the minute. They're 17th in the form table, if we can agree that 5 games is form. They're not in good nick going into this one, but whilst they scored 3 against PSG and it was a better performance from them and there was more entertainment, they still got beat, and they still got beat quite comfortably, I would suggest. But Muani scoring, Richarlison scoring again, that's good for Frank. If you can get a couple of players in the goals, that gives you a chance of increasing the entertainment, right? Because surely we can agree that goals is entertaining, usually. Anyway, Tottenham, drawn 2, lost 3 in their last 5 at home. Only Wolves have got a worse home record than Spurs in the Premier League this season. Fulham, though, got just 1 point from 6 away games, conceding 13 goals. So we've got a team crap at home coming up against a team crap away. An important win for Fulham last week against Sunderland, but I do wonder how much it was down to Sunderland being poor. Just 4 shots from the Black Cats in that fixture at Craven Cottage last weekend. I'm going to say Tottenham 1, Fulham 1. And I promise you, I'm not saying 1-1 for every single game. In 5 games on Sunday, only 1 game I'm predicting 1-0. Can you guess? Can you guess what game? I'll tell you the 5 fixtures quickly. Have a guess which one I'm going to predict 1-1 for. Palace are playing Man Utd at Selhurst Park. Villa are hosting Wolves. Nottingham Forest are hosting Brighton. West Ham United are playing Liverpool. And Chelsea are playing Arsenal. I'm going to put 1-1 down for one of those games. The other 4, though, let's discuss them. Crystal Palace host Manchester United. Palace have been quite solid at home. And when I say solid, I mean unbeaten. But also underwhelming in terms of points. They got beat again on Thursday in the Conference League. So they've only got 6 points from 4 games. So they need to buck up pretty quickly in that competition, Palace. But at home, they've drawn 4 and won 2. Had a little look to see how they get on after the Conference League games. And they've drawn 1 and lost 2 so far. So they've not won a game on the Sunday after playing on the Thursday night yet. So that's something they're going to want to turn around quickly. Man United unbeaten in 3 games away from Old Trafford. So form suggests I should perhaps go for a Man U win or a draw, go down the middle on this one. But I'm going to go for a Palace win. I just don't trust Man U. I just don't like Man U. I just don't trust Man U. They were crap against, really crap against Everton. I'm going to say Palace 2, Manchester United 1. Moving on to Villa Park, one of the most underrated teams at the minute, coming up against Wolves. Obviously, Wolves is one of the most underrated teams. Don't know why I had to clarify that one. But Villa are underrated. Their home form's underrated. Their form in general, they're 4th in the Premier League. I feel like they're going under the radar. They've got one of the best forms at home in European football over the last couple of seasons. It's ridiculous. Villa Park is a ridiculously hard place to go. But not even just Villa Park. Villa won their last 4, winning 10 of their last 12. That is significant form. That's Arsenal form. That is Arsenal form. Villa are a bloody good team at the minute. On Thursday, I watched the game. I say watched it. I had it on, but we were doing stuff. But it was on in the background. A lot of rotation from Emery, which was good. And they won comfortable in the end. Although 2-1 suggests close scoreline, I would argue it didn't feel like that watching the game. Malin with a couple of goals. So Emery's got a bit of a headache for this one. Did he stick with Malin and put Watkins on the bench? Did he put Malin on the wing? What's he going to do? Rodgers is in form at the minute with a brace against Leeds United last weekend. So sort of a few players in good nick at the minute for Villa. Even though they've been getting the results, I feel like 1 or 2 players, I'm waiting for them to step up a bit. And a couple of those are doing just that. For Wolves, I mean, it's difficult. How are you meant to predict Wolves again? They got 2 points from 12 games. How are you possibly not meant to predict anything positive for them? They've not scored in their last 3. So it's not even like they're losing 2-1 and 3-2. They're just getting beat comfortably. Rob Edwards is there, so that's one thing. But I only seen the highlights from the game against Palace last week. There was 1 for Wolves and it was a free kick. That was it. Aston Villa 2, Wolves 0. Nottingham Forest host Brighton. Another win for Forest against Malmo in the Europa League. I did watch that game because I was pooped at that point. By 8 o'clock, I was knackered. So I sat down and watched the Nottingham Forest game. A good performance, a really good performance. A very comfortable win for them as well. They're enjoying life under Sean Dyche. I'm enjoying watching Forest under Sean Dyche. He's always saying, give me better players and I'll show you what I can do. He's got them now. I quite like what he's doing. 1-3 and drawn 2 of the last 5. So Forest are in form. Brighton, 1 win in 6 away from home in the Premier League so far this season. 3 of those defeats. So they're not doing great at the minute, Brighton. I don't know why. They should be doing better. They've got a good squad there. They don't have European football. I expect a lot from Brighton this season. Perhaps that's on me. Maybe my expectations are too high for them. I think there's a lack of consistency with team selection. That cannot help. I always think when you're chopping and changing it week in, week out, I don't think that helps. I think sometimes you just need routine, you need consistency in your starting 11. But with Brighton, it's difficult to know what he's going to do from game to game. There's 1 or 2 players that will play. Van Heck will be centre back. Minte will be playing on the wing. But who's playing on the other wing? take your guess. Welbeck will likely be up front, but he's even up for changing that as and when he needs to. I'm going to go into Forest 1, Brighton 1. There you go. Well done to anyone that got that prediction right. My team host Liverpool. I'm looking forward to it. 7 points from 3 for us, so I guess we are in form, although I don't think it tells the whole story, and especially how we threw away 2 points against Bournemouth last weekend. But coming up against the Liverpool team who have lost 9 from 12, and a lot of West Ham fans are expecting a backlash, but I'm not, because, and maybe it's a bit naive, and I get why, it's like the West Hamitis in you. But where's Liverpool's back? You don't go, why is the backlash coming after 12 games, right? Do you know what I mean? 9 defeats from 12. Well, why is the backlash not after losing 2 or 3 games? That's when I would expect you to be wounded animal status. They're beyond wounded animal status at the minute. This animal needs put down. 9 defeats from 12. That's relegation form. They're third from bottom in the form table. Leeds have the same amount of points as them in the last 5 games. And then that's without adding in the Champions League defeats as well. It's even worse when you start looking at all competitions. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Listen, will we win? I don't know. I hope so. Can we win? Certainly. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham. I hope I'm right. I'm looking forward to it. That would be a big win for us. If we win, Burnley and Leeds lose, we're just pulling away from the bottom 3 a little bit. I'll be buzzing on Sunday night. And on Sunday afternoon, finishing off the Premier League over the weekend, we've got quite a tasty game here. Chelsea against Arsenal. Chelsea won 5 of 6, but only securing 10 of their 23 points at Stamford Bridge this season. Last season, Chelsea were really strong at home, but their defence have buckled up, have been sorted, beating Barcelona midweek. Great result, great win, clean sheet as well. Coming up against an Arsenal team who stuck 4 past Bayern Munich. That was an impressive result for them. Won 6 of the last 7 away. Obviously, the one they didn't was drawing against Sunderland, scoring at least 2 in their last 6 away games. I'm really looking forward to this game, and I've sat here the last few weeks going, it doesn't matter who Arsenal play, I'm predicting an Arsenal win. Not today. I'm going to say Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. I think this could be a bloody good game at Stamford Bridge. I'm hoping West Ham beat Liverpool. I can get work finished quickly and get downstairs and watch this game at Stamford Bridge. Watch the whole, I usually miss 10 minutes or so, but hopefully I can get down for kick-off. That should be an entertaining game at Stamford Bridge. I'm really looking forward to it. It would be good for the Premier League if Chelsea won. As much as I dislike Chelsea, it would sort of put them in the title race and just give Arsenal a little bit of a shock, and I think we need that. I don't want to see Arsenal run away with the title. I think they'll win it. I've been confident for quite some time Arsenal will win the Premier League. But I would like a few bumps on their road to success, if you like, and I think Chelsea presents, they're one of few teams at the minute that could get something against Arsenal. So I'll say Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Now it's your turn to get involved. You haven't done so already. In the video description and the pinned comments, there's a list of the fixtures. Just copy and paste. Pop it onto the comment section and give me your score prediction for every single game. But make sure you get them in by 3 p.m. on Saturday. And do not edit your comments. Any edited comments will be ignored completely because I can't tell when you've edited that comment. You might have done it before 3 p.m. on Saturday, but you might have done it on Sunday morning. I don't know. It's impossible to tell. So if you want to change your predictions, you make a mistake, delete your comment and put in a new one, please, before 3 p.m. on Saturday. But I want to say massive thank you for joining me. If you've already dropped a like on the video by clicking thumbs up, I appreciate you. But you haven't done so, I'd like it if you could do it now. Subscribe in your Tartan Geo. I'll catch you in a bit.